Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this video, I've been waiting to do this video for a very long time now. You guys know that if you have been following me from the beginning, I always talk about something if I've actually done it. So I don't want to just Google stuff and tell you guys. So I wanted to talk about the whole spouse sponsorship process in Canada, and we just finished the process, and I think it got over for us like last week. I think like last week or like 10 days back. And so I just wanted to go through the entire process and how it is and all those things in this video. So please do subscribe if you haven't. If this is the first video you're watching, please do subscribe. And thanks for being a subscriber if you have been with me for a long time. So when it comes to like sponsorship in Canada, it works in like two different ways. So there's spouse sponsorship, or like spouse or relative sponsorship is different from getting a work permit or something like that. So these two are like completely different process, and if you're gonna get like an open work permit for your spouse, you can only do that if you're on a work permit. And they used to give that for people who are on study permit too, but they changed the rules recently, like few weeks back. If you're gonna go through a sponsorship, you have to either be a PR here or a citizen. Only then you can actually sponsor someone to become a PR. So let's say your spouse or your parents or any of your relatives. So the sponsorship process can only be done by PR and citizens here. So yeah, obviously if you are sponsoring someone, the sponsorship period is actually 3 years. So once your sponsorship application is approved and the person you're sponsoring actually becomes they become a PR, you are technically responsible for their finance and for their living expenses for the next 3 years. And that's what you're basically signing here. So that's what is called the undertaking. In this video, I'm only talking about sponsoring your spouse. I'm not talking about sponsoring your parents or relatives or anyone else. This is only about spouse. And also you have like some other criteria. If you have a child, to be a sponsor, you need to be 18 years, you need to be a citizen or an indigenous person or a PR and living in Canada. This is the difference between whether you are a PR or a Canadian citizen. So if you are a PR, you are supposed to be in Canada till when you apply for the application. When you apply for sponsorship, and you need to be in Canada till the process is done. So but if you're a citizen, you can actually be outside and apply for it, but you just need to show them that you will move to Canada with your spouse once the application is approved. There's two different types of sponsorship. One is outland and one is inland. So inland is basically when your spouse is with you living in Canada, and outland is if they're outside of Canada. So the only difference between these two is the ability to get like an open work permit when your PR application is in process. So this entire sponsorship process goes in like two different stages. So first, like to start applying, like you just need a lot of documents for that, obviously, to show your wedding proof and marriage certificate and proof of relationship and all those things. So if we go to this page, obviously gather documents in this section, they literally have like most of these documents, and yeah, we need to fill out all these forms, but the entire process has become online right now, so you don't need to mail anything. They have certain forms to be filled by the sponsor and certain forms to be filled by the principal applicant. This principal applicant is the person who's getting sponsored, and sponsor is the person who's sponsoring the applicant. So basically it goes in two different stages. So first thing is you log into your PR portal, or if you don't have an account, you create an account in the PR portal. So this is the PR portal where you actually apply for sponsorship. And basically when you start for the first time, you go and create an account. I already have an account, so I'm going to log into this, and this is the actual portal where you apply for PR, no matter like what category you are in, let it be a sponsorship or let it be express entry. This is the portal where you apply for PR. So they have changed it completely. New portal now where you apply for PRs. And yeah, so this is the thing. And when you first start, when you don't have any application, you just you go into this first section, and you just go into start new application, and then here you choose which program you're applying. So if you are applying for like express entry, you go into economic, but we're going to do sponsorship, so we go into family, and then we select spouse. and then it says two different classes. So family class is basically if the spouse is outside Canada. It just gives you like the necessary application forms to be filled out, and also like the necessary documents which needs to be submitted. You can see that in like view my applications, and then here it's gonna show. So the reason why I have like two different things is because when we got married, we initially thought of just applying for it like an outland application, because I was also in India at that time. And what we basically did was we thought apply for a visitor visa first. The visitor visa, I think we just got it in like 2 weeks. So once we got that, we were still processing the outland, but then like I just got confused with talking to some other like consultancy, and what the consultancy said was you can actually change your outland to like an inland application once you go to Canada. Me doing like so much research, I understood that you cannot actually switch your application from outland to inland. The only way is to withdraw your outland application and put in like a new inland application. So that's the only way. So because of that, we had to withdraw the first outland application, and we came to Canada, and then we again submitted a new inland application, $1,075, and then we just didn't get the $75. We got back like $1,000 as a refund because we withdraw the application. You cannot actually do anything here, so this doesn't get updated at all. Basically how the processing goes is simultaneously they process like two different applications. One is for the sponsorship and one is for the PR. So the PR application pretty much goes the same way as express entry. So but only thing is like you don't have any points or anything like that. So it directly just goes to getting your medical exam and getting your police certificate. But before that, they need to approve the sponsor. So for that, you need to show that you have regular income and all those things. So once they approve that, but you don't do it in sequence. So I'll show you like what happened for mine. You don't actually see any of the updates on this. There's another portal for that. So this is like the application tracker, which most of your things, you don't use the GC key anymore. That is like really slow. They do update your application in that too, but this is much faster now. This is like the new tracker which they have released recently. So once you submit your application, you need to wait to get AOR, which is like the acknowledgement of receipt. That pretty much takes like around 3 months to get it. And once you get your AOR, then only then you can actually go and register for this tracker. Before that, you cannot actually do it because you won't have your application number. So only after you get your AOR, they send you your application number, and you need to use that to register for this. And as like two different accounts. So for me, like I'm the sponsor, so I can use my UCI and register as a sponsor, and my wife can use her UCI and register as like the principal applicant. So both of us can log in, and basically on the principal applicant side you can see like more information compared to like the sponsor side. So this is how it looks. We have like different applications here too, visitor visa, and this was like the previous one which we closed, which we withdrew, and this was the one which we finished, right, which we did. So yeah, it says closed here, and usually it will say in progress when you first start. It'll just show the last updated date here. So we go to application history, and this is where we can actually see the activity. Yeah, so June 17th we submitted the application, and the other website which I use, this is like a third-party website which is called Emi Tracker, where you can basically upload your details, and you can just check it with the other applicants. So yeah, this was my case, and yeah, so I submitted the application on June 17th, and I got the AOR on August 4th, which doesn't show here, but it's okay. So yeah, AOR on August 4th, so which is basically like almost 2 months to get the AOR, and I registered to this, and I saw this. And then they basically update this. We got all these forms, we got the police certificate, we got the passports, we received the document proving your relationship. August 18th we got the request for the medical exam, so which means that the PR process is actually started. So this is where it's kind of like confusing, because the way they say before you actually apply is Once first they do your sponsorship process, and once you are approved as a sponsor, then they move to the PR process. But I didn't get any update saying that my sponsorship has been I've been approved as a sponsor, but they just directly send the request for a medical exam. And here, so technically here also they have given it in sequence, but it didn't technically happen in sequence. So you can see my AOR was in 4th August, and the sponsor approval date, I got the letter in my email only in December, like December 5th. But by the time I got this entire process was over. So I got the medical request date on August 18th, and we did the medical exam on August 21st, and the medical was passed on August 21st. So August 18th, and then they also told my wife to complete the biometrics, and then so medical exam was updated to in progress, and 25th medical was completed. And after that we did actually wait for a while. 25th the medical was passed, and 29th of August eligibility was in progress, which the update came on my side because they checked my eligibility to be a sponsor. So that started on 29th, and that just got completed on the same day. So they just updated that both of those on the same day. And then my wife got a pre-arrival letter in her mail the next day. I don't know if this was just a guess, because I thought usually they just start both of this on the same time, but I didn't actually get any update saying that the background was started. It took around like 2 months for it to like complete, and November 15th the background check was complete. And then this was just like I called them like twice or thrice or 4 times to check the status, because kind of like it takes like too long. November 15th the background was completed. Here all these 4 things will be like in progress, and then it just changes to complete one by one. For us, like everything was completed except for the eligibility, which was supposed to be like the first step of this process, but that was updated like as like the last thing. So usually people call it as like portal 2, so it's technically not portal 2. So if you go to this PR portal, you usually won't have this section at all. When you first start, you will only have this and the PR card. So once they finalize everything, they just open up this option for you, where you basically just have to go inside and just declare that you are inside Canada, and then give your current address and your photo. This is where we are right now. So once they accept this declaration, you can actually go down and print out your COPR, which is like the confirmation of permanent residence, which we got, and we're still waiting for them to like accept the photo. We did submit like a different photo before, and they didn't accept that because they said like it looks like she's smiling, so you shouldn't have like any expressions on the face. So we uploaded a new photo, and we're just waiting for that. So once that is approved, they will mail the new PR card with that photo. That's why they asked for the photo and the address. So pretty much that we already got the COPR. So I think we got the COPR like 10 days back, which is like February 4th, 3rd or 4th, somewhere around that. Entire process took like June to February, which is like 8 months. So that's like the entire process of the sponsorship. It's a pretty slow process, like like there's not much you can do, like there's no tests or anything like that. Once you submit all those documents, it's just basically just waiting time, except for you have to do the biometrics and medical in between, which is pretty fast actually. Those 2 things are actually fast, but other than that, it's just the processing time. I think the processing time they put was 14 months when we applied, but it got over in like 8 months. We also submitted an open work permit along with this, but thing is like you cannot use this portal to submit a open work permit. You need to use your GC key to submit like a separate thing, and then just add this application number of this sponsorship in that application, so that they will link these 2. And once your PR background check is completed, the open work permit will start processing, and we got the open work permit approved in December, so which is just like 2 months before we got the actual PR. So I mean, it's like again like the work permit processing time is like 4 to 5 months, so which is like almost like half of this process. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, like, she started working like 2 months early. That's like the only difference between inland and outland, and you cannot actually change your outland to inland, so don't try to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to quickly show you this and show how the process goes and how long it took for me to do this. Yeah, if you guys need like anything else related to this, like, just let me know. I'll do another video for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. So thank you guys. Bye bye.